had millions and billions of years to develop. So they may be smarter than us, or they may be some sort of mold or something, not very exciting and not very intelligent. Although some people I know are not as smart as the average mold, but I won't get into that. So the possibility of life outside of this solar system, outside this planet certainly, and outside of the solar system is very, very likely to be true. But that does not mean we have been visited by extraterrestrials. And our $1 million prize, which I'll tell you about in just a moment, is awardable to anyone who can actually prove that that has happened. I don't say it's impossible. I don't say that it hasn't happened, but I'm looking for the evidence. Now, different people react in different ways to stimuli, of course, as we know. I'm not particularly afraid of horses, but I know some people who are terrified of horses. But dealing with that subject alone, suppose that you're sitting on a park bench in this town, and you know that there's a riding academy just around the corner, a place where they teach people to ride on horses. And you're sitting there calmly on a summer's day, and suddenly you hear, you say to yourself, oh, I'll bet that's a horse. Must be. Riding academy just around the corner. Now that's what you folks and what I and Brandon and all of us would think. That's logical, that's likely, that's probably what it is. Or an old fellow going, perhaps, just behind you, you see. Could be, could be. That's what we would think, ladies and gentlemen, because we're rational, logical people. But there are three classes of people who hear that. The second class of people is what we call the woo-woos, people who believe almost anything. And perhaps there are two of them sitting on the next park bench, and one turns to the other and says, did you hear that? Yes, I did. What do you suppose it is? It's probably a zebra. Not very likely, no. Not impossible, but not very likely. It's more probably a horse. But what about the third group? These are the true dyed-in-the-wool believers who will believe anything that anyone tells them if it sounds good enough. And these guys turn to one another and say, I just heard that. Did you hear that? Yes, I heard that. It's very exciting. What do you suppose it is? Oh, I'm sure it's a unicorn. Of course not. The chances of it being a unicorn are extremely small. But ladies and gentlemen, I deal with that third class of people all the time because of our $1 million challenge that we have out there. Now, one thing I'm going to discuss with you this evening is an important subject. It is something that all of the woo-woos believe in, and that millions of people around this earth believe in all different countries, particularly in the United States and in England and in Japan now and in Australia. It's very, very popular. It's called homeopathy, and I'm sure you've all heard of it. First of all, the theory that like cures like. What they mean by that is if you have a fever and you're feeling very warm, oh, I feel terrible, I don't know what this is, you would then take a medicine that would produce the same effect if you didn't take it, and that would neutralize it. Like cures like. I know it's a crazy idea. Don't look at me. It's not my idea. But the second thing is even more important. The medicine will not be given to you as it comes in the bottle. It'll be given to you highly diluted. I repeat, highly diluted. You have no idea of what high dilution means when these people talk about it. I'm about to demonstrate for you. Step to the board with me, if you would, please. This is the mathematics lesson. Very simple. Most of us know this arithmetic very, very easily, and we've learned it many, many years ago. First of all, the number 10 to the power of 1 is simply 10, because the number, the index number here, refers to the number of zeros following the 1. Okay? Very simple. 10 squared, or 10 to the power 2, is 100, because it has 2 zeros signified by this number following the 1. So 10 cubed, or 10 to the power 3, is 1,000. Well, this is very simple stuff. We all know this. The homeopaths have this theory. And again, It's their theory. Don't look at me as if I'm crazy. Okay? They say that you prepare homeopathic medicines by doing the following. You take one part of the original medicine, now that can be anything you want, and you put one part of it in 10 parts of water. And then you have to success it. That simply means, that it's supposed to be a scientific term, it means you shake it. They could have said shake, but that wouldn't be scientific. So what you do, don't laugh, this is science. What you do is you shake it 10 times this way, and then 10 times this way, and then 10 times this way, in 3 different dimensions. They can't find a fourth, so they don't do it a fourth time. And then that's now called a one solution, 1 part in 10, you see? Okay. Then you take 1 part of this medicine and you put it in 10 parts of water and sugar, the whole thing. You do it all over again. That then becomes 2 power, okay? And then you do it again, and that becomes, so you see it's up to 1 in 1,000 parts right here already. And they do this forever. They keep on going and diluting it, and diluting it, and diluting it. Now they reach a point that is known in science as Avogadro's limit. Now, Avogadro, I never met the man, he died a long time ago. A very difficult gentleman. He came up with this Avogadro's limit, and he said, from his mathematical research and actual experimentation, he found out that if you do this process of diluting it 1 to 10, 23 times, at that point, the solution that you have has a chance of there probably being 1 molecule or 1 atom of the original substance that you put in there. 1 in this container of water. So that if you do it 1 more time, that's 10 to the 24th, or minus 24th, I should say, you now have 10% of the chance of there being 1 molecule or atom of the substance present. You see how silly this is already? Oh, wait till it gets sillier. Oh, it gets much sillier than that. Your silly index is hardly aroused, I can tell you. You see, the homeopaths like to start their dilution at 1 part in 10 to the power 30 parts of water. Now, if you think that I'm going to write that out here, you've got another thought coming, because we have to rush along. But I just want to illustrate for you how silly this figure is. You buy a container of homeopathic medicine, and you look on the label and you say, oh, the medication is diluted down to 1 part of water in 10 to the 30th, pardon me, 1 part of substance, I'll be all right, keep your seats, 1 part of substance in water that amounts to 10 to the 30th parts. Wow. Well, let's just take a look at it, shall we? Here we have a number written up here. You see there's 1. This is 1 part in that's the end, folks. That number of parts of water. Now that's incredible and ridiculous, and it's pretty damn silly too. Because you've passed Avogadro's limit, you don't have any of the medicine still there. It's useless, except that they say the vibrations are still there. Oh, wait a minute, vibrations. You hear this in quack medicine all the time. Well, it's vibrations, you know. If you gave them a whole suitcase full of vibrations, they wouldn't know what they look like or what they could do with them. They don't know the meaning of the word at all. And the other word they use, are you ready? It's quantum physics. Because nobody understands that, right? Of course. They use this term all the time. And quantum vibrations are even stronger. Now, I have here a box of medicine that's sold in the United States of America. It says on it, homeopathic remedy. Let's just find out what's in here. It's, first of all, something that relieves the symptoms of the common cold. Now, not the common cold. You can't cure the common cold. But you can relieve the symptoms if you use this compound, they say. And what are the ingredients here? Wait, that's in French. I'll do it in English. Be a little better. Let me see. It says here, ah, yes, zinc acetate. 1x. That's the dilution. But folks, wait a minute. 1x is not a homeopathic dilution. Not at all. You need something like 30x to be homeopathic. 1x means 10% of these pills in here, 10% of it is zinc acetate. And that is an active medicine. It is not homeopathic. It works. And on the same shelf in the pharmacy, you can buy another box of another medicine that does not say homeopathic on it, and it has the same concentration of zinc acetate. And it works. It relieves the symptoms of colds. But why do they put homeopathic on there? For two very good reasons. Because the general public in the United States at least, and I know in other countries as well, particularly in the UK, if they see homeopathic on a box, they think, oh, that's New Age. Yes, that must be something exciting. I better buy that because it's homeopathic. I heard all about this. And the other reason is that according to American law, you can charge 70% more if it says homeopathic on the label. So there are good reasons for using selling homeopathic medicine, but no good reasons for actually buying it. Homeopathy is a total farce. And I'm going to prove something to you today. You see, I advertise that when I do my lectures, I will commit suicide. Now, I like to do that by overeating, but I don't get the opportunity. But we have a gentleman in our audience this evening. I'm going to ask him if he'll be kind enough to step up here, please, and explain who he is and what he has in his pocket.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I take it in Swedish?
Oh, of course.
Jag var här på Bankgatan i Lund och köpte den här pinnen där, homeopatisk medicin. Och det här är mot för att kunna sova. Så det är koffein i den.
But what is it for?
It's for to be able to sleep well.
Coffee for something that's supposed to cure your sleeplessness? Come on.
She didn't have the one I wanted, so she said, I only have the stronger ones. I said, that's totally fine. So these are the stronger ones.
All right, now this is a sealed bottle, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a doctor? Just out of curiosity, is there a medical doctor here? Would you mind coming down here, sir, for a moment? Thank you. All right, let's hear a round of applause for the doctor. You are a doctor, sir? Would you tell us who you are? a doctor with a cold.
Working at the neurology clinic in Malmö.
Okay, thank you. And what does it say on there? It says...
It's a granulate with coffee arabica. That would be coffee.
Arabian coffee, I guess.
Yeah. A D200, coffee cruda D200, and 100% saccharose.
Well, okay. Incredible, but true. And would you open the bottle for me, please?
Yes.
See, just take the top off there. Right. All right. There is they're just right up to the top there. Okay. Little tiny pills here. Thank you very much, doctor. I appreciate your cooperation. A round of applause for the doctor, please. Now, there's a second rule about homeopathy that you should understand. Now, again, I'm not making this up. This is what the homeopaths say, not what I say. They say that the more dilute the medicine is, the more powerful it is. Now, that's crazy, of course. So I am going to take an overdose of it. I may die right in front of you here. Let me see. Now, I estimate I probably have 30 or 40 pills in there, at least, yes. That's quite a stack, and I'm about to commit suicide. Goodbye. It's sweet, very sweet, yeah. Have one. Very sweet. It's lactose, actually. Mm.